Back in the shop this morning. How's everyone doing? Getting close to Christmas time. Cold weather brings me in the shop. Time to build go-karts. Just got this one back from powder coat yesterday. Getting built for a gentleman in Kansas City. Powder coated diamond ice. Got the silver parts back. Got the holes all cleaned out this morning of powder coat, so everything's ready to start being assembled. Seat pan is all together, ready to drop in. You do your seat pan before you send it to powder coat, because otherwise you can't hammer it over top of the rails like you want when it bolts in. So we're keeping vintage rear engine go-karts alive, one kart at a time in the Midwest. Now before you get all excited and say, oh, I gotta order one of these, don't. I'm just about done with as many as I'm gonna make. I've built about 30 of these. One of the problems that I've run into is if I don't know you, if I don't see you on the track, don't know that you really need one of these, I'm not building you one. Now that maybe sounds a little cruel, but it's not, because I've gone to all this work to build a quality superior racing rear engine go-kart, only to have a couple people take them home and tell me, oh yeah, we're just going to put a Predator on it and we're just going to run it in the yard. And I wasted all my effort and time for that? I don't think so. Not going to happen. So while we're building this red one, there's also this one in process. Gearbox kart. Getting all ready to go on the track. These are the Alley Cat Reproduction karts. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is these karts right here, these two karts are an inch longer than a standard old type kart was. So a person can fit in these karts. If you don't fit in the kart well, you don't race well. Yeah, we build some that are 2 inches. We got a couple little tricks we do with some of them that are help you get in. It's even a little bit longer as far as leg room, and still keep a standard wheelbase or close to standard wheelbase, so your kart handles well. But we'll take some more of this as we progress along the way. Well, we're back. So we've been in here about 3.5 hours working on the rear end of this kart. We have the rear end assembled. So when you get a kart complete, for me, it's basically race ready except put your motor on. Everything's safety wired. Everything's ready to go. We're about ready to drop the seat pan in here. I mentioned before, the seat pan's already been fitted. Seat pan right there. So I had mentioned earlier that a lot of this is going to come to an end. Well, while we're working on this, my metal supplier called because I had asked him about some 20-foot sticks of 1-inch tubing and 83 wall, and so he called back, and from what I paid before, costs gone up $35 a stick. So the tubing I've got, I'm building with what I have left in tubing, and as soon as that's used up, we're all done. Thank you, Brandon. Don't want to make this political, but a lot of people voted for that guy. Somehow he got in, and we're paying the price. Every item I'm putting on this go-kart, basically, a lot of those items have gone up and gone up drastically. This cart, complete, ready to go, was $22.50. I have another one that I'll be starting right after this one. That one is at $2,500. And right now, if I had to buy all the material to do a cart and expect to make any money at all on it, basically, I'm looking at a $3,000 roller. And I just don't see that at this point. You know, I can only do a couple a year, 2 or 3 a year. I only do them in the winter time. The process is very long. Time you get everything bent, take it to powder coat, you run down all your aluminum. There's a lot of 70-mile round trips in this. I live in a small town. I gotta go out of town to get everything done that I need. Sheet metal, powder coat, just all the little things. A lot of trips back and forth. So it's a long process to build one of these. At the end, it's totally worth it. You got a cart that you can really fit in. Steering column's a little higher than a lot of the old carts were. We've adjusted where everybody sits. A lot of the old carts had the seats moved forward. We moved the seats back. We've also leaned the seats back. We changed the pedals, the tie rods, how everything is attached. You end up with way more legroom in this cart than most carts. The rear engine carts in the day, people weren't as tall as they are today. I've got guys 6'4" running these carts, and they can fit in them, where the old carts of years ago, if you're 5'8", you're tight. So there's reasons why this has to get built. There's people that want to run this style of cart, and they just cannot get any old style of cart. I literally cannot drive a Dart anymore. I've had a broken back. I've got 4 bulge discs right now. I broke a pelvic 2 years ago that's never fully healed. There's just a lot of reasons why I can't sit in a cart that's got a seat that's straight up and down. And so there's reasons for changes. So this is Midwest built, Midwest sold. This one's going to Kansas City when it's all done. Probably going to Kansas City next week. We don't ship anything, so he's coming part way. I'm going part way. We're going to meet. Well, it won't be in the middle. He's got a longer drive than I do, but still, I'm going to take 3.5 hours off of his drive time for him, just because I'm such a nice guy. Okay, let's get ready to drop that seat pan in. So I had said this was already fitted. I don't know if I can do this halfway without making everything so bad with the camera that so I'm trying to do this one-handed, run the camera with the other hand, so you can see why you fit your seat pan ahead of time, so that you can get all this down around there. And these bolt in with tabs, not rivets. Rivets don't hold very well, don't last very long. So we bolt everything in using the tab method. So really, when I get done and I even get the seat pan in, it still takes me an hour and 45 minutes just to put all the snaps in the upholstery and get the upholstery put in place. So I'm going to leave for now again, and we'll go back to work, and we'll come back for another little session. Getting a little bit more done. Got the front spindles in. Got steering shaft in, front wheels on, working over here on the brakes, just bled the brakes. Don't forget about the 30-second brake bleed. So that's a 1/4 inch nipple with a long hose on it. Crack your fittings open on your brake caliper. Pressurize the end of this hose. Doesn't take much pressure with an air hose. And push that fluid back there, and you're done bleeding your brakes in about 30 seconds. There will be no air in your lines or calipers at all. It'll be just all fluid. Really simple way to do it. Got a hose on here long enough I can just do everything right here from the back. Close off my little fittings once the fluid comes through, and we're done. So probably some people wonder, you know, what's the deal? Why did I decide to build alley cats? You know, I've built a bunch of these alley cats. Why didn't I build something else? You never heard about an alley cat ever winning a national or a regional event. I mean, they just didn't. Probably not a real popular go-kart because there wasn't a lot of them. Well, one of the reasons when I decided to build a reproduction kart, I've been around enough to know that the karts that work the best are the single perimeter frames. Fox, the last of the Bug Sprints. You'd have the single perimeter, just one rail all the way around, not a rail over top of another rail, not welded in floor pans. You want a kart that flexes really nice, very predictable. And we know that karts like the last of the Bug Sprints and the Fox and that were some of the best karts ever built in rear engine karts. And they all had single perimeter frames. So that's what I wanted to do. So I was looking for a kart that you know, nobody cared about, no longer produced, nobody has any real rights to it. I looked at the alley cat and I thought, yeah, there we go. That's the design. You know, alley cat, bantam. Some of those karts, you know, that Outlaw, they were out there, single perimeter frames. They just had little things that needed to be corrected on them is all that was wrong. And so doing the reproduction, you know, you get a chance to, you know, correct the seat angles, the seat position. You get a chance to correct what may not be exactly correct on the original go-karts. Because we learned a lot over the years, you know, about where everything needs to be and how to make things work and handle. And surprisingly, when I got the original alley cat from Stroker Ace, it's remarkable how close I was on everything, and I had never seen one of these. But I did have a gentleman in the UP that had one of these, and he sent me tracings of all the seat hoops, the back hoops, so that I could get those the same design. And he basically told me, you know, what the frame rail width was, you know, how far up was the seat, where was this bend at. When you look at the original alley cat and you look at this, they're remarkably close. the structure is all bent up so close. It's just, it was really kind of scary when I got the cart from Stroker Race, because I'd already been doing these for 5 years. And so that's one of the reasons I picked this chassis, build a single perimeter frame. And the reason I don't go out and find a fox or a bug, I've already done that. I don't fit in them, and most of the other drivers don't really fit in them either. They drive them a lot of times, but they don't really fit in them. So let's have something we fit in. I've built some other carts. I mean, I build a chaparral and I build an A-bone and move things around, and could fit in those better than the originals. But you know, I don't have rights to those. Robert Stanton does, Rob Ron. In respect to him, it's like, no, I don't need to get into anything with Robert. He's a really good dude, and you know, let him build those carts. I don't need to be building those carts. I build a bug fly, actually 2 of them. Again, bug just went out of business. Fay Ladybug just passed away. Out of respect to those people also, I don't need to be in a battle with the surviving sons and grandsons, etc. You know, don't need to be making those carts. So I picked the Alley Cat, and that's what we build. Now, am I going to build something else at some point? Yeah, I probably am. I still got in my mind that I want to build a a la carte slingshot, but not the little bitty tiny a la carte slingshot that they built. I'm going to build one that I could fit in. I just always thought it was kind of a cool looking go-kart. So at some point, I may build that cart yet. I have something in the back of my mind that nobody's built, and it was run in 1960. As a C-open rear cart. I have a kind of a desire to build that. Maybe I'll get that done before I'm all finished. It's in the thought process. We'll see where that goes. That's down the road a ways. I'm gonna have to rob a couple little pieces off of my cart here, because when you're building carts, it's always hard to have enough pieces around. And I'm short a couple clevises for my brake rod. But I'm this far. Got to do the floor pan, finish up the steering, do the front bumper, put the upholstery in, put a gas tank on it. We're getting closer. I just went out and bent up the front bumper here, so see if we can, show you an idea how this goes together. So this will drop in right here. Come out here and attach at these tabs. Got to cut it to length yet. Thread the ends. Use tie rod joints here at the ends. So we'll get the front bumper all installed here shortly. Now that I've got it through the center piece, they can polish all of this. So it looks really nice. Front bumper is not there for you to be pushing against other people and moving them out of the way. The front bumper's there in case something would happen and you have an accident. Protects your feet so you can walk home. That's what it's for. Piece by piece, little by little, the cart's coming together. We got pedals on now. Control rods hooked up. Brakes hooked up. Got the Nassau panel bolted in place. Steering wheel's mounted. Tie rod ends will be here tomorrow morning, probably, hopefully. And then we'll get the tie rods and the bumper mounted. I go in this afternoon, I'll put a polish on the floor pan. That's always a fun job, not one dirty job. So looking at the hours on this, I have to do the snaps and the upholstery installation yet, but we're getting pretty close. This looks like between fabrication of the chassis and components and assembly, it's basically 40 hours. And that doesn't include 4 trips, round trips of over 70 miles each, to pick up material, to go see my friend Megan with the upholstery, to take it over to powder coat and back. You know, some of those things are included in that, some of them aren't, but it's a lot of running, it's a lot of hours. So when you wonder what you're getting, you're not just getting a go-kart, you're getting one heck of a lot of time. And that time is valuable, time's important. You know what you work for 40 hours a week, you know what you get paid. Well, I just finished up the entire front end. Entire front end is done. Tie rods are all in, front bumper's hooked up, toe end set, controls were all in place, brakes all done, throttle's all done. Modern style of throttle linkage. You can adjust the nut right here so that the spring bottoms out at the same time your throttle on your carburetor is fully opened up. So we got to put the upholstery in yet, and then this kart's all wrapped up and ready to go for Christmas. It's 1960 all over again. How many people get a brand new 1960 style go-kart for Christmas in 2021? Very few. And it's red too. Looks like Santa had to bring it. You know, folks gotta kind of remember that when these karts were popular in the 60s, and we'll go back as far as maybe 58, 59, they started getting real popular. 59 and 60, the karting scene just literally exploded all over the United States. And what you got to remember was, other than a few small motorcycles, mostly European motorcycles, Harley Davidson had a little popper, but that was about it. There were no mini bikes, there were no ATVs, there was nothing small, affordable, and motorized. Along came go-karts. Guess what? It literally exploded. Because I got started in December of '59, I got to see that explosion, and I got to see places like going to indoor races that winter of 1959 and watching 250 go-karts come to a little bitty tiny track indoors, the smoke so thick you couldn't even see through it. And everybody racing, wanting to be a winner, thinking they were going to be the next big thing. For most of them, it lasted about a year, 2 years, and they were done. Some of us had some success, and we've continued on forever. And more than racing and winning success, we've had a lot of fun. And it's a tremendous learning experience for young people to get into this and get their hands dirty, get into the mechanics of things. What better way than get a go-kart? You can go racing, it's still affordable racing. Yeah, Dad, you have to have enough interest to take your kid racing. He's not going to do it all by himself. So we'll get ready, put the upholstery in, and then we'll do the last of our video. Oh, who says there's no Santa Claus? My buddy Tom's gonna get to put this under his Christmas tree for Christmas. It's 1960 all over again. God, he's gonna have to be one excited guy. Woo! This thing's pretty. Pretty in red. Lady in red. Woo! Tom will be smoking the tires on this thing. So next week, I meet him in Rock Island, hand it off to him, and he takes it home to Kansas City. Alley Cat going to Kansas City, the Kansas City Kitty. Sweet. He gets to decorate it and even make it look prettier than this. Well, just checking in here at the end. So, I just wonder, how good are you with your trimming bender? Those will challenge you right there. That's what you do on a snowy morning. Well, that's the end of my chrome moly tubing. One of those is actually a 83 wall ERW electric weld. So two of the four are spoken for. One is to hang up for me and my special project that's down the road. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great holiday season. Ed, we're at Jewelers Casino in Rock Island, and guess what Tom just got? Woo!
It's so pretty!
He's all excited. He's been sitting in it. Vico's already got him up to 30 miles an hour out in the parking lot in it. Oh yeah, there's Vico.
Yep.
And then Ori just showed up.
So pretty.
Yeah. That thing, I went over and picked it up, and it's like, wow, that thing got some glitter to it.
Yeah. I didn't really think it was going to have that much glitter, but I liked the color.
Oh, that's...
It didn't look pink after it was done.
Yeah.
Red goes faster, right?
Red's always faster.
You know, it's kind of funny. They call it diamond ice, but yet it's red.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think you'll figure out the ice part after you see it when you get it home and it's not in the sun. Because I think that's why that's got that silvery look.
Yeah, man, God, it's great. Man, you did a great job, Steve. It's really good.
So, now, Tom, now that you got your new cart, you can go home and fix all the things I did wrong.
I don't think there's anything wrong. I got to go build a motor now. I don't have a motor for it.